You know, before I start anything, what the heck is Poots and Cat, for crying out loud? Oh, I got back on the horse. I drew Mr. Freeze in 30 minutes or less. Obviously, the blue pencil part, you're not going to be able to see very well. Why? It's a really light pencil. And as I've always said, or as you probably heard maybe once or maybe the first time, when you draw lightly in the beginning, it keeps your mind open to go ahead and create. I used to try to freehand these dang goggles, but they never looked right because I really just think the goggles should be just very, very stiff and circular. Besides that, I'll freehand everything else. Oh, I'm back to the chunky markers. Doing the big statements first, doing the details later, and it saves me so much time. I think I'm going to do the next sketch in 20 minutes or less. Oh, why not? What's the worst that can happen? Nothing. Nothing bad's going to happen. So I did a bunch of basic light grays, and then I'm coming in with some more dark tones. And I need a little bit here about the brush tips, but I did it very quickly, by the way. So I'm laying down some basic value studies. I always tell my students, if you can learn how the values work for you and develop your own style of values, where the darks and the lights go, then the color part's always easy. So I then grabbed a very light blue. I put a little blue sheen to it, and then here I have a set of blue-violet markers. I put a little underlying, a little underscore, a little underpainting. I was wearing underwear when I did it, by the way. Oh! It's bad. My daughter calls it dad humor. I get it. So I'm putting a little blue-violet sheen on there before I start adding a little bit more blue in there. Red goggles, yes please. And okay, here comes that little bit of texture with that hand sanitizer again. I'm on a hand sanitizer kick lately, guys. Hand sanitizer makes wacky stuff happen to alcohol markers. So I've kind of fallen in love with it. Who knows? I may stop doing it here real soon, maybe never. But for now, hand sanitizer. Start adding some darks back in, and then pretty soon I'm going to come in with a really surprise guest. And it's not the blue. This is Prussian blue, by the way. Prussian blue is a Copic color. I think it's a B39. That is my favorite blue. Oh, it's the airbrush. I'm bringing in a Copic airbrush that kind of puts a fine misty spray of the Copic colors. I love the Copic airbrush. Here I grabbed a little piece of window screen. And if you ever get to see the original, you're going to see a light dot pattern that makes it look very, very classic, very vintage, very Liechtenstein-esque. Did I say that right? And so that's just spraying the screen through, spraying the airbrush through the screen. Coming back in, I want to add some light values back in, so I grab my white pencil and add a little white back in there. I grab my dark pencil to kind of tighten things up just a schmickaroo, and then I think all we need now is snowflake some stuff up a little bit. So coming up, I'm going to grab my white pencil and I'm going to start drawing snowflakes back into the art. So layer colors onto the art and then draw white and lighter colors back into the art. It's an easy way I found to do pretty quick pieces. And this one came up, just happened. Just came across in about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit less, maybe 29.2. Snowflakes, yeah! Mr. Freeze, man. He's scary. Ooh, I feel cold when I watch Mr. Freeze. And again, who's this Poots and Cat thing? That's my question. Who is this Poots and Cat? It's for you to find out.